Why on earth would anyone plan a vacation alone?
And your captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. Feel free to move around the cabin.
Hello, hello. So glad I finally get to say welcome to my channel. My name is Sparkle Hickey. I am brand new to the YouTubeverse and I am an excited single solo traveler and digital nomad curious girl. I'm hoping to share some of my experiences, my adventures, tips, suggestions, recommendations with you because every single trip I've planned in the past 3 years, I've come immediately to YouTube for suggestions. So as I grow and expand as a solo traveler, I hope to be able to document my experiences and share from my perspective with the YouTuberverse what I experienced in these destinations. Since most of my content will be on travel, specifically single solo travel, I figured this would be a great opportunity to go ahead and discuss everything I think you need to know about beginning your solo travel journey. This video will go into the what, who, why, when, where, and how of single solo travel and give you a little bit of background about myself. So, what is solo travel? Solo travel is when you intentionally plan a trip to a destination by yourself where you don't know anyone, you haven't been there before, you haven't lived there before, you don't have any connections there. It's solo. You're on your own figuring it out. Whereas single travel in my view would be going to a destination where maybe you went there for university or you have some friends that you met online that live in that destination, or maybe your significant other or family member or friend are coming to meet you and hang out with you while you're there. You guys may not be traveling together, but you will meet up at this destination. That to me would be more single travel versus solo travel. I enjoy both. I love a good girls trip, a group trip, a family trip, but I absolutely am passionate about solo travel, especially at this particular phase in my life. So with that being said, let's get into the who I am, as well as who is a good candidate for solo travel. My name is Sparkle Hickey. I am a commercial casting director and my job became 98% remote a couple of years ago. And once I realized I can do my job from anywhere, the travel bug started to bite me, and I just wanted to travel and see the world and get as much exposure and experiences as I could. Once I started doing that, I got hit with a lot of questions like, why in the world would you go on vacation alone? People thought, something went awry, that all my friends flaked on me, or, I don't know, they missed their flight and I just ended up at this destination by myself, which kind of made me wonder, like, okay, do people not travel solo? Like, is this like, why am I getting all these questions? Hopefully this channel will inspire, at least one other digital nomad curious or solo travel curious person to start their journey. Who is a good candidate for solo travel? I would say anyone who enjoys being by themselves. I mean, truly enjoys it. Not like, okay, I can tolerate it, but after a few hours or after a day or so, I have to, connect with somebody. If you truly enjoy your own time, you entertain yourself, you're a whole vibe by yourself, you don't mind talking to yourself, journaling, you can walk through the city alone, you can sit at a cafe alone, you can have dinner alone. You don't have to constantly be distracted by your phone, or, you don't have to hear the sound of someone else's voice. Then you are a great candidate for solo travel. If these situations that I'm describing make you uncomfortable, or you feel like, oh no, I would not be able to just go to a restaurant and sit there for 45 minutes or an hour and eat by myself, you may not be ready for solo travel just yet, and that is perfectly okay. Next is why. Why? The question that sparked it all. Why travel by yourself? Do you not have any friends? Did you just go through a breakup? People automatically assume that something went wrong when you are on a trip by yourself. I saw a quote recently that really stuck with me, and it said, once you realize you can do it alone, you are unstoppable. And that really spoke to me because that's the way I felt after my first solo travel experience. It was an amazing experience. Like, first of all, everything that could go wrong did. But looking back on it, it was an absolutely amazing experience. And that was when I realized, like, okay, well, if I can do this and be okay, and not only be okay, but like actually enjoy myself, why am I not doing this more often? Like, that had been my biggest hurdle in my earlier years, is of why I was not traveling, or why I did not travel, was because I didn't have anyone to travel with me. I was just waiting around, twiddling my thumbs for a friend or a significant other, or a group of people to decide that they wanted to plan a trip, or if they plan a trip, I jump on it with them. And when you're in that mind frame, you have to wait for everybody's money to be the same, everybody's availability, time. Everybody needs to want to go to the same destination for the same amount of time, probably stay at the same hotel. So everybody just needs to be on one accord. That takes a lot. And for me, I often found myself compromising a lot of what I would have preferred to do just for the group. Like, okay, well, if they want to stay here, that's fine. If they want to eat here, that's fine. Because again, I'm just here for the experience. So, but as a solo traveler, you don't have to do that. You can eat where you want to eat. You can stay where you want to stay. You can just move how you want to move, and it is completely liberating. I suggest that everybody at least attempt it one time. And if you feel like, oh my God, this was a disaster, then you don't have to do it again. But I doubt that will be anybody's experience if you're going into it with an open mind. Next is, when is a good time to solo travel? Now, this question is two parts. When, as in when throughout the year, what season, as well as what time in your life is a good time to start solo traveling. There are people that start solo traveling as a teenager. Some people will experience it before they even go to college or university, or in lieu of college or university. They just prefer to use that money to travel. And then some people don't get started until after retirement, so late 50s, early 60s. Either of these categories, I've heard wonderful things. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm an elder millennial, so like I said, I have gone through my 20s, not quite at the age of retirement just yet, but I feel like I've accumulated enough experiences, enough, kind of intuitiveness about people, human behavior, the way the world operates, that I feel confident and comfortable moving in different places, unusual places, without feeling threatened, without feeling, skittish. Like, you just, listen, I've been around. And then when throughout the year, what season? Obviously, there are so many destinations that are tourist friendly and vacation friendly year round. I prefer the off season or the shoulder season of a destination for my personal experience. I'm in the United States, so here in the United States, there are a couple of times a year where like everybody is just like going on vacation, about to go on vacation, just got back from vacation, or just traveling in general. That's usually the summertime, so late May to early August, and around the holidays, so late November to early January. So those are the times that I usually try not to do as much traveling, because I know everybody is going to be doing their traveling during that time. So for me, I prefer, even though I enjoy, doing all the touristy things, and I don't mind some crowds when it's overly crowded, as a solo traveler, I don't feel like I enjoy it as much. So whatever can reduce the crowd size, reduce the amount of time you're going to be standing in line or waiting for a reservation. The prices are even usually a lot more reasonable in the off season than they usually are in the high season. So I would say for me, and especially for someone who's kind of just getting their feet wet with solo travel, maybe start with the off season or the shoulder season. The biggest complaint people have in the off seasons is the weather, but from my experience, it's usually not that bad. So next is where to travel as a solo traveler. Again, this answer deserves its own separate video. There's dozens upon dozens of destinations that are amazing and accommodating to solo travelers. If I tried to even do a short list right now, this would make this video extremely long. But I would say do your research. And the short answer would be stick to the locations and the destinations that are familiar with tourists, that are accommodating to tourists. For me, of course, some people who have a lot more travel experience under their belt, they like to go off the beaten path. They don't like to be in the super touristy areas. You won't find me off the beaten path as a solo traveler. Those destinations that you have to take multiple planes and trains and boats and, hike several kilometers to get there, that don't have Wi-Fi and modern accommodations, I probably won't be going there as a solo traveler. Now, if I'm with a group of people and it's that type of experience, then yeah, let's adventure. Let's see how far we can take it. But as a solo traveler, I would recommend starting off, at least if you're starting this experience, starting off in the more touristy destinations. The reason why I suggest that is because destinations that are used to having a large amount of tourists, American tourists or just tourists from all over the world, are a lot more accommodating. They have modern amenities. You still get that cultural aspect. You can also still find some of the comforts of home if that is what you need to feel comfortable. And then lastly, how do you become a solo traveler? How do you plan a solo travel trip? How do you navigate it? How do you execute it? And that is a great question. And hopefully, if you subscribe to this channel, you will get more tips and suggestions to help you further that process. That is the intention of this channel, is just to help at least one other person who is interested in starting their solo travel journey feel more comfortable with getting out there. So go ahead and check out some of my other videos to hopefully give you some inspiration. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is a brand new channel, so hopefully the organization, the video upload schedule, all of that stuff will be coming together soon. But again, my name is Sparkle Hickey, and I am excited to be a part of the YouTuberverse.